Hi everyone, my name's Ruth. Welcome back to my channel, Seamstressed Ruth. How is everybody? Hope you've had a lovely week. I had a really exciting day yesterday, so I thought I would tell you a little bit about it. So you might well have heard that Guthrie Ghani, who are a fabric store based in Birmingham in the UK, were having a sample sale. And a couple of my friends were going, so I thought I'd tag along. Oh, my husband's calling. Why does he do that? Hold on. Okay, I can't be that mad with him. He was phoning to ask what bottle of wine I wanted, so that was nice. Anyway, I can't remember where I got to, but yeah, so yesterday I went to Guthrie Ghani, which is in Moseley in Birmingham. So I went with my friend Donna. She came here and then we drove to Moseley together. And then we popped into a restaurant which is just a few doors down from Guthrie Ghani to have a bit of something to eat before we went in. And lo and behold, we went in there and Adele and Becki and Sam and Christine were all in there, which was lovely. I knew they were going, but I hadn't expected to see them until we actually got in there. So it was a nice surprise, and we all ended up having a really nice dinner together, lots of laughs, and yeah, it was really fun. So after we'd had our food, we hopped up the road and went into Guthrie and Ghani. So it started at 6:30 and we got there pretty much at 6:30 really. So Donna and I went straight upstairs to the workshop area, which is where they'd laid out their sample sale. Didn't really know what to expect, but we had seen a few sort of teasers and a few of Lauren's Instagram lives where she had mentioned that there'd be lots of sort of more heavier weight fabrics. So we were really pleased to see that there was lots of corduroy, lots of denim, lots of twill type fabrics. Yeah, lots and lots of really nice heavier weight winter fabrics really, or coating stuff. And it was all laid out by colour scheme. So when we first went in the door, there was a great big table that had all various tones of browns, and then I think it went blacks and greens and blues and sort of ochres and oranges and reds and pinks and purples and some more neutral colours as well. It was great. There was lots and lots in there. So I grabbed a couple of bits and I'll show you what I got. So the first thing that I picked up was this piece of corduroy. So I'll hold it up there so you can get a good view. It's kind of an olivey kind of colour, olivey green, and it's almost got a little bit of a sheen to it, sort of. It's very nice, very soft. The wails are quite narrow. I don't know if you would call it a needle cord, but if it's not a needle cord, it's very, very narrow wailed. And all of the pieces of fabric were already priced up. So they had little cards on, like this, with coloured stickers, and then on the back it told you exactly what the fabric was and how much the piece was. So this is, it's called Dusky Green Corduroy 12 Wail, and it's a 2 metre piece by 146 centimetres, and that cost me £18. And I thought that I would use this to make up the Friday Pattern Company Ilford jacket, which is one of those patterns on my patterns that intimidate me list for making in 2024. So I've got the fabric now. I really have no excuse to get started. So that was the first one. And then the second piece that I bought was this piece of tartan fabric. So it's got some interesting colours in this, and I think it goes really nicely with that piece of cord. So what I was thinking was I might make a shirt out of this piece to go underneath my jacket. I have recently bought a new shirt actually. I can't remember the name of the pattern. I'll pop it down below here so that you can see the name of the pattern. So I think I might give that a go in this fabric. So this, again, it had its tag on, and this is Mustard Spar Plaid Viscose Blend, and it's 2.5 metres, and that cost me £22.50. So it wasn't cheap, It's quite a good weight. I'd definitely say it would be more of a wintry shirt rather than a sort of spring or summer. But yeah, definitely sort of autumn, winter. But there we go, that's really lovely. I love all the colours in there. Very autumny. And then I was quite restrained in the sample sale. They were the only two pieces I picked up. And then so we went back downstairs and into the actual fabric shop. And there were lots of people in there. It was a really lovely atmosphere. Lauren had laid on some drinks, so there was a big table with some bottles of Pressé and sort of non-alcoholic sparkling wine and some sweets and lovely little things. So we had a drink. We were quite warm by then, in all our layers from it being so cold outside and carrying the fabric around from upstairs. So yeah, had a nice little drink and then a good mooch around the shop downstairs. So I was quite sensible at first, and the first thing I picked up was some interfacing. My preference for interfacing, I know we've all got our own preference, but I like to use the 220 weight. So it's called, how do you pronounce that word? Visseline? F220? I don't know. But yeah, that was my first sensible purchase. So I wanted 2 meters, but there was only 1.4 left on the roll, so I had all of that. So 1.4 of that. And then I found this lovely little remnant piece. There we go. Now that is a really nice piece of Atelier Brunette 100% viscose. It's 50 centimetres by 137 centimetres, and I picked that up because I have got another Merchant and Mills Whittaker dress planned. And in my first one that I made, I used some Liberty scraps for the facings and the pocket linings, and I wanted something equally as nice to do the same thing in the next one. So I'm going to use this for those facings and pocket bags, so that would be quite cute. That cost me £9 for half a metre. Then I was having a really good look at the Liberty fabrics. There's been a Liberty fabric that I have wanted for a little while. I think it's probably from their most recent drop last year, and it's this sort of ocean themed pattern. I'll pop a picture of it in up here so you can see it. And I actually had it in my basket from the Liberty store at New Year, and I dithered for too long, and when I went back to purchase it, it had all sold out. I had to look around and I couldn't find it in stock anywhere else, but they had some in the shop at Guthrie and Ghani. So I was sort of stroking it for a while, as you do, and having a look at all of the other Liberty fabrics, trying to decide whether I really wanted it or not. But close by to the shelf with the Liberty fabrics was the shelf with the Atelier Brunette fabrics on. I think it's Atelier Brunette. And actually, getting to touch all of the fabrics in one place really helped me decide what I wanted to buy. So I decided not to go with the Liberty fabric, and instead I chose this. So this is some Atelier Brunette viscose, and it's on a black background, and then it's got these sort of mauve and got sort of not really gold, I'm not quite sure what colour you'd call that, but sort of circles made up of little lines. So I really like that, and it feels lovely. It drapes really, really nicely. So yeah, I was really happy with that. So I went for this rather than the Liberty fabric, and I don't regret it. I'm really, really happy with this. It was quite funny because I got in the queue to have my fabric cut out. A couple of people behind me in the queue had the bolt of Liberty fabric that I'd been looking at, and Adele was teasing me. She kept saying, Ruth, she's got it. And I kept having a look over, and yeah, she was tempting me to get some, but I held firm and I decided to go with this one, and I'm really pleased. I think all of the fabrics I've got seem to coordinate quite well, actually. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hold these up all together. go. I'll pop a picture in at the end so you can see all of them together. And then in front of me in the queue, as I was waiting to get my fabrics cut out, was Christine, who you will know as the Gemini Stitcher. And she had a couple of bits that she'd been carrying around with her. And while she was in the queue, she spotted a lovely piece of ribbed knit fabric. And so she got it down off the cupboard and put it on the table in front of us, and she was having a look at it. And she decided that she was going to have a bit of that as well to make, I think she said she was going to make a max tee with it, a long sleeve version. And I was looking at it and I was touching the fabric, and I thought that is a really lovely piece of fabric. It's really nice quality for knit fabric. And the more and more I looked at it, the more I thought I'm going to have a bit of that as well. So Christine and I were having a think as we were waiting to get to the front of the queue about what we might do. We might even do a collaboration and show you what we've both made out of the same piece of fabric. But I shall show you. Again, you'll notice that these are all quite colour coordinated. Yeah, got a bit of a capsule wardrobe going on here, I think. So here we go. This is my beautiful knit fabric. So you can see that the ribs are sort of, you've got a narrow, well, the ribs are quite narrow, but then they're in pairs, and then there's another section where there's 4 of them, and then they go back to pairs. So it's not just sort of one straight rib all the way across. It kind of variegates. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. But yeah, I got 1.2 metres of this. I don't think I will make a max tee. I might make a Monroe turtleneck from Tessuti, because as you know, that's one of my favourite patterns, and I think that will be really lovely underneath my Merchant & Mills Whittaker pinafores. Perhaps not the one I've already got, that orangey one, that might be a bit too much of a colour clash, but maybe the one that I'm about to make, which is in some green corduroy, that will go quite nicely. So yeah, 1.4 I got of that. No, 1.2. So that was my fabric purchases, and then I also bought some buttons. So my friend Heather had asked if I could pick up some buttons for her while I was there, and they were some Pigeon Wishes buttons. She's got, I can't remember what she's making actually, but she'd seen these buttons online and she thought that they would be a good match for what she's making. So they're these blue Pigeon Wishes buttons, and what I didn't realise is that you can buy these individually at Guthrie Ghani. You don't have to buy them in a pack. So when I realised that, I thought, well, I'll get some for myself as well. So I got 8 for Heather in the blue and 8 for me as well in the blue. And then I also got for myself 8 in the green colourway. They were 80p each, so I thought that was quite good. So I've got blues and greens, which I think will fit nicely with perhaps not these fabrics that I've bought now, but certainly with some other fabrics I've got in my stash. So yeah, that was a nice little find. I didn't know that they did those individually. And that was it in terms of purchases. So I bought 4 pieces of fabric, some interfacing, 5 pieces of fabric because I had that remnant piece as well. So 5 pieces of fabric, some interfacing and some buttons. And most importantly, had an absolutely brilliant time. So check out Becki and Adele and Sam and Christine's videos coming up, because I'm sure that they're going to share what they bought as well, and you'll get to see everybody's goodies and some funny photos as well from our meal. So thank you very much as always for watching along today. If you liked it, I'd love it if you give it a like, subscribe if you don't subscribe already, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, bye now.
There you go, you're famous.